Hello, Peace Havens here. The weather has been atrocious. I just can't get out for weeks, so I've been very busy. I've been updating the flax seal database. I keep getting asked questions. What's this? What's that? What's the other? Well, here is the how, where, why, what, when, which and who of flax. I've just added this to the site, and it's taking you right from Russia. The bales on the quay side there, look, showing you all of the ports that the flax came in from, the boats that were used, how they got on the fields, look, how they retted it down to make it usable, different ways of doing that, and all the whatever you want to know about flax, it's in there. Right, so that should, even all the names of what it was used for later on. So that should keep you informed there. Now I've got 15 new sections on the seals now. This one you're looking at is history. We got tokens, Westhouse, Little Patrick, Follygill. I've put all the seals from St. Petersburg together, all the different kinds, and I found this very useful because you can now look at every seal of a type all close together, and I've been able to decipher exactly what it says on the seals. I mean, that to me is brill now. All pictures of, they're at Kronstadt, look, they couldn't get up the river to St. Petersburg, so they had to unload here, put them on barges and ship them upstream. And then we got circular dated seals, a new section there, most of them coming from bagseals.org, but I've been able to translate, because I've got them all together. It's all coming together now. Now what else we got? We got Riga keys, where they use the keys out of the city emblem there, and that's Riga, way back, and then all of these cross keys ones all together. So you really, when I get them together, I can get everything that's needed to be able to decipher the things, where they come from and the whole works, and some nice pictures as well. What else we got here? Oh, we got the Baltic shields for the Baltic states. A little page 3 in there, look. These are the shield types. And all of the different, they come from, if I can get up here, all these different ports: Riga, Revel, Pernau, Libau and Narva. In the Baltic, as well as St. Petersburg, but they all carried this Nordic shield cross, which we know a bit better as a St. George's cross, so a bit of poetic license there. And there's the ports in the old days, and then shields. Again, lots of information coming because they're all together, and you can see the slight differences in them. And where they're coming from. UK Detector Finds Database, Portable Antiquities, Indent Services. I've just seen a little flaw there, that should be one line. Forever having to mend this. And then Archangel, the original one. This is where they were coming from in the first place, Archangel. And then they opened St. Petersburg and they kicked Archangel into touch because it got frozen in, look. They had to go round and it got iced up here, so they brought them through the Baltic. They got a lot of extra days to do things in. Of course, the flax was ripe in the autumn, and then they had to get it across to Britain before the bad weather came in the winter. And there's old paintings of the places, and then again, because I could get these all together, and I'm taking little bits off each one and sticking it all together, I finally got what it says on these things. And that was hard work, but it was fun. There, look, there's my first one from Follygill Mill. Beauty. Love these things. There's so much going for it. Then we got Follygill here. We got Little Patrick, Bentham, Ackheads Mill, inspectors, posts, identification there. You got one, send it in. We'll identify it. Friends. Oh, I've got a bit of good news for the friends here. I've got a whole load of seals which aren't bag seals, but what I'm going to do is, see all that lot there, my friends who are actually supporting what I'm doing, I'm going to have a little draw and I'm going to send them a bag of these seals. A free draw, unbelievable. But one of you is going to get a whole bag of lead seals, well, the tokens mainly, all sorts of stuff, Roman, whatever, to have a look through. And meanwhile, if you feel like supporting, you can just click on one of these buttons and support the work that we're doing. That gives an example there. I like analysing things. It lets you know what the site's doing. The brown here is, well, it's going from 1798 right across to 1838, and these are the seals found at West House in Brown, mainly going in 1814, and then Little Patrick, it moved to Little Patrick shorter after, from about 1817 to 1821, and then these are Bentham Mill. It must have been a lot easier to, and they went into it in a bigger way here, because there's far more there at Bentham. But this is sort of the progression through the years in the mills, and it will change as we go on. What else have I got? Let's have a look at inspectors. This is a list of the inspectors, and it's alphabetical. Look, all the A's, B's, and then if you go over this side, these are where all the seals are coming from for that name. The blue is Bentham. These are the numbers for that name. I love it when I can get everything together in one go like this, and all of a sudden things start coming. Because these seals, you're only getting little bits. You get odd letters on the seal, and but when you get half a dozen seals, put them together, you can build a picture up. Love it. It's just like out searching, but it's the history. There's thousands, literally thousands of names now on here, going on and on and on and on and on. But all you got to do is go onto the site, give yourself a couple of weeks, and you can look at every single one. Every name, every post, where they came from in Bentham seals. They also occurred at Little Patrick, and there's also other examples from Arbroath Museum, bagseals.org, Montrose Museum, Dundee Arts and Heritage, Kirkcaldy Museum, and the North East Fife Museum Service. Everything is here. These are, on here is every seal that I know of in the UK, and from every museum and every organisation. If you've got one, and these are where they just couldn't be deciphered, but they will. Gradually I'm knocking these off and putting them in the right place as I get more seals. But we need seals. Every one is a gem. Every time I get one I think, that answers this question here, now I know what this is about. So if you've got any, please send me the pictures. Anyway, thanks for letting me bore your ear off. Where should I go? Ba-ba-ba-bum-ba-bum. History. There's all your questions answered. There's your St. Petersburg. Some of these pictures are phenomenal. Let me see Riga here. These old pictures tell stories. Am I looking at the right place? I think I am here. This is the quayside in Riga. Notice here, two men in black. The inspectors worked in pairs, checking one another's work. There's an owner of the flax there, next to him, when I get my finger there. That's probably the owner or a buyer, I'm not sure which. That is definitely an owner, look, he's prancing around with his stick and his little kid in tow. There's all the bales of flax. Here's your galateas, look, with the rounded sterns on them, and here's the old crane, hand-wound crane, I think, for getting the bales on board the ships. But there's a huge amount of history in these pictures, if you know what to look for. So I'm going to leave you with it. I hope I haven't bored you, and I'll get out as soon as I can, and we'll get some more actual metal detecting in. You take care. Bye.